Hey guys, this is Brandy with Brandy's Wake and Bake, and this is my take on the cinnamon roll, my family's absolute favorite dessert. First things first, you want to add 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast to your bowl. I like using the active dry yeast. Once you're done with that, you want to take 3/4 cups of milk and you want to warm that up. You can warm it up on the stovetop or the microwave, which is fine. Once that's warmed up, you want to add that to your bowl, and then you want to take a half a stick of butter and you want to start melting that into your pan. While that's melting, you want to grab your sugar and you're going to add 1/4 cup of sugar to your milk and yeast, and you want to give that a good stir. And then we're going to add our eggs. You're going to add 1 egg in and give that a stir, and then you want to add in 1 egg yolk and you want to give that a stir. You want to stir this very well. And then after that, we're going to add in our cinnamon and our vanilla. I add in a teaspoon of cinnamon and then a teaspoon and a half of vanilla. It gives the dough a very good flavor. After that, you want to add in your melted butter. You want to stir that consistently so you do not cook your eggs. Once you have that stirred up, we're going to add in a teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to add in 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I like using the organic all-purpose flour, but any all-purpose flour will be fine. So after we get the flour in, we're going to mix it up until a dough forms, and we're going to keep mixing. And once that's all mixed up, we're going to grab our mat. I like using these mats because it's an easy cleanup. I sprinkle a little flour on, pour the dough out, and then I start kneading it. I kneaded the dough for about 5 to 8 minutes. I just kept kneading it until it was no longer sticking to my fingers or sticking to the mat. Then once you're done kneading it and it's in the perfect ball, you want to oil your bowl. I use olive oil, and I place my dough in the bowl and cover it and let it rise for about an hour and a half, depending on how warm your house is. I turn my oven on so the rising time goes faster. And then once your dough has rose, I went ahead and buttered my pan to get it ready to place the cinnamon rolls in there. And then you want to grab your dough and place it on your mat, and I just flattened it out with my fingers. I always use my mat as my measuring guide. It helps me make the perfect rectangle to roll your cinnamon rolls up. So once you got that all rolled out, we're going to go ahead and get our stuff to make our cinnamon and brown sugar mixture. There's my cute little boy. He always wants to help. So we're going to take about a cup of brown sugar and about 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, and we're going to give that a mix. And once you got all that mixed up, we're going to take another stick of butter, and then I just take a spoon and I spread it all out, and I try to get every little crevice and wrinkle it's got so the cinnamon and sugar will stick to it. And then you want to set your butter out quite a bit before you start making cinnamon rolls so it's super easy to spread. If not, it will tear your dough and it will just be a disaster. So once you get all this spread out, you want to start spreading out your cinnamon and sugar mixture all over your dough and all over the butter, and making sure you get every little piece just so it has that extra cinnamon and sugar on every bite. Once you're done doing that, you want to start rolling it up from the end. I rolled it and made sure all my corners would stick to the sides so it was pretty even. I'm not a very good cutter, so my cuts are uneven. I cut about maybe 1.5 inches a piece, and it doesn't fit perfectly in my pan either, so I just did 3 layers, and then I had 1 little extra one. And then after this, you want to cover them and let them rise for about another hour. Now they're ready to go in the oven at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes or until golden brown. While they're baking, I went ahead and started my icing. I did 4 ounces of cream cheese, which is a half a block softened, and then I did 3 tablespoons of softened butter. And then I mixed that up real well with my mixer till there was no clumps in it. Then when you're done with that, I added 3/4 cups of powdered sugar and a teaspoon of vanilla, and I mix that up again with my mixer. Mix it all very well where there's no lumps or anything, and it's all smooth. And I had to do a little taste test. I had to make sure the icing was on point. So once your cinnamon rolls are baked, you're going to go ahead and add your icing on there while they're still hot so it all melts on there and gets all gooey and yummy goodness. And we're going to spread that all around. And once you got that all spread, you can either be patient and let it cool off or be like me and not wait at all. I hope you guys enjoyed the cinnamon rolls as much as I do.